So the U.S. bet on the wrong technological horse. And I'm Zuri Horowitz. I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 5 in El Paso County, Colorado. I'm fighting for affordability, good union jobs, universal health care, affordable housing, abundant and quality childcare, being able to pay your utility bill. Let's get back to that. So basically, the U.S. decided to bet on AI. And I wonder why we did that. It's because our technological sector has degraded into a little oligarchy of billionaires. And the biggest problem of their lives is time and ease and having to hire workers. And so they didn't think about, how many resources it would take to power AI, the amount of electricity, the amount of water it would take to power AI. They thought about what would make my life easier, what would be cool to me. And you can see that in tons of AI ads. It's like, babe, I don't want another manager, but they do because they're used to having an assistant tell them what to do. And they're like, but what if I didn't have to have an assistant manage my calendar? What if I had AI to do it and I didn't have to pay this person? And to me, that's like the genesis of AI. This is speculation. This isn't, hard facts. But what is that solar is 5 times more efficient compared to fossil fuels. And now, after years and years of environmentalists making the case for solar, the technology has caught up, and China did bet on technologies that are energy efficient. China bet on high-speed rail. China bet on really energy efficient, inexpensive electric cars. China bet on solar panels. And now, in California and Texas, people are putting them in because they make sense. And we are behind the curve. So this is what happens when you have an oligarchy in power deciding on technology to develop based on their whims and not thinking about the actual impact of what everyday people need. And so everyday people want a lower electricity bill. Everyday people want to not have to pay more for power. Everyday people end up wanting solar. And in the US, we have a lot of regulations that make it more difficult to install solar panels. So anyway, I hope that in the future, we actually invest in green technologies, which are the actual future, rather than AI, which replaces middle-class jobs poorly and then just costs a bunch of money in electricity. Anyway, that's my take. I got a lot of this info from a recent Lever interview about solar power. I think tomorrow is Sunday, and it's in support of solar energy. There's a lot we can do to make our lives better, and it's actually looking at the technologies that work